Welcome everyone to season 2, episode 2, the Fighting Dementia Podcast. Welcome, Fran.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
We're going to, follow on from last week's episode where we talked a bit about water and diet and behaviour change, catch up, see how things have gone there. And we'll also have a topic of walking today and how much you guys get out walking and whether that's a big part of your lives. And later on in the show, we'll be having Rosie Whittington on, who runs a dementia day centre called Me to You. And I think it's focused on like a holistic approach to people living with dementia and how to support them. So
that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah.
And we just found out that you worked in the same hospital.
We did.
Maybe not in the same department, but many
big
years
place. Ago. So we never always seen each other, or we've probably seen each other in passing.
Yeah. So look forward to chatting to her.
Yeah.
So how's the last week gone for you guys?
Okay. I have done a lot of walking, mind you.
Yeah.
Playing golf, that was walking. Every Sunday we played golf so far.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a new thing that you've taken up, isn't it?
I'm walking to work, I'm walking home from work. I do plenty of walking, yeah. I don't mind walking because I haven't got a licence anymore. I haven't got a choice, really.
And how's your last week been, Fran?
Oh, it's been okay. I am trying to give up sugar.
Have you? No. Have you actually?
I'm not yet.
Working on it.
I'm getting it down.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
That's good, because you talked about...
Since our last run,
You talked about changing your diet anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, it's only because this has made me, but it's changed my eating habits. And you just get on with it because you just do what mind more or less tells you. But I have tried this week and I'm not doing too bad.
Very good.
Not great, not perfect, but I've knocked a few things off.
That's good. Because you said you've been eating more whole foods and vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, I have now. And juice drinks and stuff. But I still have the odd treat. But I am trying my best to do that. Because I think if that helps, then I've got to do it.
Yeah, because we talked about it, didn't we? The guy who'd written that book, who'd written numerous books about reversing Alzheimer's and living to 100 with a quality brain and all that. His number one thing was sugar, wasn't it? And it's something that I'm really trying to cut down because I, like you, was quite bad on cakes and chocolate as well.
Yeah, chocolate's my downfall.
I don't eat much chocolate anymore, apart from the odd bit of dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And I've also managed to cut down to 1 cake a week because I used to be 4 or 5.
Is that a full cake? Or
no,
a little cake?
like a slice of cake.
A Victoria sponge.
All in one go.
Yeah, exactly. And last time we talked quite a bit at the end of the episode about water, and it was quite interesting hearing you have an Alexa set up, don't you, Tom?
Yeah, she tells me what to do, when to drink, when to sleep, when to take medication. Well, that sort of thing, really. But I do drink a lot more water because where I work, it's that hot in there. You have to have a drink because you always have the heating on full blast.
So it reminds you because you're hot and because you're doing sort of
physical work.
Physical work, yeah.
But I take a bottle with me now, a flask with me, so it stays it nice and cold as well.
Nice.
Yeah. It's nothing worse than warm water.
No.
Because you said you have to have it in the fridge because it puts you off other boys.
Yeah. And with Frank now, he has a condition where he has to drink 2.5 litres most days. So I do drink more.
Because of that as well?
Because of that, yeah. So I'm doing bits, adding little bits here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not doing everything I should, but mostly.
It's baby steps, isn't it? I mean, I've since learning about all this, I've tried to drink a lot more water, and some days when you're busy or this is happening or this is happening,
it goes out your mind, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, you just forget. And so, I think one of the things we're going to talk about later is because we're trying to focus on behaviour change and see what tips is out there in the science or in books about behaviour change and how to form habits and how to think about habits. And I'm quite excited about talking about all that because I think it can help me sort of change my behaviours with certain things that I want to do.
Julie Bradbury was on, I think that's her name. She was on from, I don't know if it was ITV or BBC, and she had breast cancer. and she was saying that she read about sugar in her diet. And she said, I had to change my diet. She said, if I wanted, I can't remember now what the membrane is that you have. And she said, it affects all that. Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. And she said she's been as healthy as she's ever been. She does other things with it. She's not just that.
Yeah.
But she's totally changed her diet and her everything, really. Exercise. Well, she does a lot of walking anyway, doesn't she? But she was.
Who is it?
She's
Who
wrote
is
a book, Julie Bradbury.
Okay.
She used to be on Country File, and she's been on a lot of other things as well. So she's quite well known. She's not a reporter, but does all these shows and things. And she said it was a shock of her life, and she thought, well, I've got to really get knuckled down, and I've got to fight for my life, basically, she said. So I've got to do this. She said, and I've never felt so well in all my life.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same since having alopecia and
you were
losing my
saying.
hair when I did.
Yeah.
Like, I've never felt as healthy and fit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because I changed my diet, I changed my exercise patterns,
Yeah.
meditate more, do lots of different things
Yeah.
because it's all about calming. For me, it's about calming my immune system down.
Yeah.
So it's about not getting ill and preventing being ill, as well as all these other things that you can do. And it does make you, when you have something that's big in terms of health, it does make you reflect, doesn't it?
It does,
on
yeah,
what
definitely.
you do. And I think you guys have done amazing since you've both been diagnosed. And there's no doubt that it's keeping you doing this podcast and smiling
Yeah,
every day.
well, I think you come to a point where you think, well, I've got to do something. I can't just totally ignore it, and I can't sort of sit back and think. I don't know whether you felt like that, Tom. You can't sit back and think, oh, well, you know, I'm going to sit in my chair now.
Well, I think if you'd done that,
I'm
you
gonna
would get
stay
worse
there.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get out there and find something,
got
don't
to.
you?
Yeah. I found my golf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Are you still cycling, Tom?
No, I haven't done it since I've done that big ride. I don't know why. I've just lost interest in it, but I'll come back
Have
because
you?
I'm doing it again next year.
You're going to do the same?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think once you've done something, it's like sort of put on the back burner then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And go to something else. Because you'd get, I have a very low concentration sort of thing. And if I can do something and get it done, then that's great. But I won't go back to it. I'll go and do something else.
I'll get back on my bike in the summer.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's not till July.
When you're
the
ready
ride.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
do it
it's
again.
great that you're going out because the weather here in the UK in the last 2 weeks has been pretty bad,
but
pretty windy.
There's no bad weather. It's just bad preparation, isn't it? You wear the right clothes and it's not a
Very
problem.
true. I wouldn't go out in this in golf, but you somehow are making it out. Good on you. And yeah, so one of the behaviour topics we wanted to talk about was walking, and you've obviously golfing.
Yeah, a lot of walking.
You sort of have to walk every day because you walk to work and walk
Yeah.
back. How long's the walk for you there to get to?
It takes me about 20 to 25 minutes.
Perfect. So that's there, and then 20, 25 minutes
Yeah.
on the way back.
Yeah.
Nice. And what about you, Fran? Because I know you walk to the bus stop, then you get the bus to town. I know you walk around town, see friends and stuff.
Yeah. I do more steps around town than anywhere else.
Is it?
I can do up to 19,000, depending on how many shops I go to.
Oh, wow. Are you tracking?
And I've got proof of that.
Yeah. So you tracking your steps?
Yeah, I do, on this. The
Great.
kids bought me it and it tracks everything. So
Wow.
I know what I'm doing. And then sometimes when I'm sitting there, it goes, get up.
And do
I
you
will
get
not. But yeah, it's really good. So I'll tend to walk round to the shop by where I live, which is about a 20-minute walk, and 20 minutes back, and then I might just divert off and go round and have a little nosy round the estate, the houses and stuff. But I do walk when I have to, yeah.
And would you say you're getting in 10,000 steps every day?
Not every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing that week and what's going on. But I do try to do them, and then I'll make sure I go up and down the stairs if I can. Because we've got the extension downstairs now, and I think, I must go up the stairs and down, because you forget, don't you? Then,
Yeah.
So I'll make sure I've got things to take up and bring down and stuff like that, and a bit of gardening. We're just trying to get the rest of that put in now, but the weather's been bad the last few days. So, but we do gardening as well and stuff like that. We always try and do a little bit a day, whatever it might be.
That's good.
Yeah.
And do you think both of you keep up the amount of walking you do in the summer months, in the winter months, or?
I hope so.
Yeah.
As long as I can play golf, I'll be happy. And in the summer, I can go cycling.
Nice.
But the golf, I really enjoy the golf at the minute, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the weather is.
Are you, because what we're going to do in Reminiscence Corner later actually is talking about learning new skills. Do you think you're getting better? Is it all about enjoyment? Are you thinking about getting better?
It's just enjoying it with me. Having a laugh with my son.
Yeah.
Making memories with him, that's all.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's quite fun, though.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. You said you had you won the other day because you got more shots than him, which I'm not sure is quite
I got 79, he got 55, I think. So I won. As far as I'm concerned, I won.
Which, if you don't play golf, is the opposite of how it works, but you can get away with it.
In my mind, it's fine.
And then, so we're going to try and bring in some behavioural science things, which sounds like very posh. But I think there's a number of books out there, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and a few others that are really famous in terms of how do you build habits, how do you build them in. And I think it's useful for both you guys, for me, but also for the listeners as well, is like learning about some of these things. And one of them is implementation. And I do have to look at what I've written down. Implementation intention. And it's saying like, yes, I want to go walking more, or I want to drink more water, or whatever it may be. And it's about essentially being specific and having a predetermined plan of, if something happens, then I will do this. So it might be, if I finish my morning coffee, then I will go for a 15-minute walk. And so then you're trying to train your brain into thinking, if I finish my coffee, the first thing I'm going to think about is I'm going to go on a walk. And because you might have a morning coffee every day and you decided that you would want to go on a walk in the mornings, if I finish my coffee, then I'm going to go on a walk. Or it could be, if I come in from work at 4 p.m, I'm going to get my walking shoes on straight away and go for a walk. And so it's about thinking beforehand, what do I want to do more of? So maybe it's, I want to drink more water.
Yeah.
So it's, if I open the fridge, I will have a glass of water. Or, do you see what I mean?
Do you write this down now?
I think partly is writing it down. And it's probably spending time.
Because I'd forget, you see.
Yeah. In the moment of it happening.
It's like that research thing I told you that I done when I first got diagnosed, or not long after I got diagnosed. That was planning my day and planning what I did, and then what obstacles were put in my way. How did I put obstacles in my way? How did I do that better? Or how could I have done that better? And in all fairness, it was amazing. It got me through that first year, amazing, and give me a lot of knowledge, say, how to do things without putting too much pressure on myself as well. And I think that's it. That was all about behaviours. It's good.
Yeah.
And it's stuck with me since I done it.
Yeah, so I looked into that since the last episode, and it's problem adaptation therapy.
Yeah, that's right,
And all of the research that came off the back of you being one of the first to be in that study.
Yeah.
They were like, it has these short-term benefits, but unless it's kept up, after a year or 18 months, there was only like a slight improvement in all the people that did it. But what you got out of it seems to have really had an impact.
Yeah, I kept mine up.
Yeah, and you've kept it up as well. And so I think that we're going to try and get some of the experts that ran that study on and talk about it, because what happened was, because it was a short-term intervention, and then a year or year and a half later, it didn't have a huge impact. The NHS just looks at that and go, it doesn't work. But the science was saying you just need to do it more regularly.
It does work, yeah.
But then probably what's happened is they worked out how much it would cost for everybody.
Always a way, innit? Money.
Yeah, with dementia, to do that therapy on an ongoing basis. And they thought, we can't afford it. And it's only shown a little marked improvement after a year and a half. Whereas probably, I think what they did say in the short term, it really helped people.
Yeah. And it depends how far down the line the person is who's actually doing it. So if they can at least get another 6 months, 8 months, a year or 2 years living, it's never going to be a normal life. It's going to be a different life, and that's what it is. It's a different life. But even if they could get that for 2 more years, it's less than drugs.
Yeah, well, exactly,
and stuff, and it gives them the encouragement to keep trying, and the families as well work with you well when you're doing that, because they can see that you're not sitting back and thinking, well, I just have to give up now because I've got this dementia, I've got Alzheimer's, and I'll change my behaviour into being just sitting there and not doing much, or just thinking about it too much.
I think
you can't do that.
It sounds really worthwhile, and hopefully we'll get experts, because at the same time you were getting that, you were in that phase of like denial at that, and then feeling very upset around that period of the diagnosis. I
thought upset with myself than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'd let Marion down by having that illness. But I hadn't.
No, of course
not.
I
was told.
But I think hearing it from you and then hearing about what your experiences were, if you had done that therapy maybe for a couple of months, it seems to me that it would have been really beneficial for you at that.
But we didn't even hear of that, you see. No one told us.
Yeah.
It was just one of those potluck things. I think they just put your name in a hat and pulled it out type of thing. And then you were asked, would you like to do that bit of research? I think it's the list. They take them off the list, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when they do the drug trials, they do take 2 lists, one for someone who's going to get the drug and one who isn't.
Placebo,
going to get a placebo. So they pick them lists and just...
Yeah, you were lucky to be part of that trial, because it's not many other people with dementia have actually experienced what you did.
Yeah. And I was caught at the right time when I wanted something done.
Yeah.
I didn't want to believe that my life was going to be interrupted or taken away from me.
Yeah.
So.
And just bringing it back to the implementation, intention therapy, and you're saying I'll forget, a lot of it is also about your environment and what else you can do they're basically called triggers. So if it was like every time I open the fridge, I'm going to have a glass of water, then you might put something on the fridge that's a sticker, that's a glass of water, and remember, whatever it is. And what we'll do is in the show notes, we'll put links to that implementation intention. So for anyone listening, anyone interested, they can go and read more about it and start to think about that. And maybe it's something we'll talk about as well in terms of water and walking and all that, seeing how it might actually work in practice. And we might even come back to that next time and just maybe focus on that type of behaviour change for a couple of episodes, because just to hear about it and then discuss it is like the first step, isn't it? The reality of it is like so different, and even more different for people living with dementia.
It certainly is.
So cool.
When I think of trigger, I think, phony fool.
He only had one brush, didn't he, for 25 years? Just had 30 new handles and 20 new heads.
They used to call my son Trigger in school. So that'll keep me in my mind now.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. So we'll have a short break and then we'll invite Rosie on and have a chat. We really hope you're enjoying this podcast. We want this to be one of the best free resources for any family affected by dementia. With your help, we can build the biggest community in the world for supporting, guiding and comforting everyone who faces cognitive issues and the people around them. So please hit that subscribe button or share it with someone who needs it. Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. Pleasure to be joined by Rosie Whittington of the Me to You Centre. Welcome, Rosie. And we'd love to hear more about what you do at the centre and your history and your insights, because I think from what I've heard, it all sounds really fascinating. So keen to learn more.
Thank you. There is a good story behind it. So we opened about 8 years ago, the first one in Kirby. So my history is I'm a mental health nurse. I'd done my training in, I think it was about 2000. So I've been a I've been a nurse for over 20 years. Obviously, I've covered all areas, Ashworth, acute mental health, but I was always drawn to the older person. And I know now dementia isn't specifically for older people, but my heart, my passion was always for the older person, whether it was dementia or mental health problems. And that comes from, I was a teenage carer for my nan.
Oh.
She raised me, my nan. And there was no diagnosis, although on reflection, there was mental health and addiction and, you know, a cognitive decline, but she did die at 58. So I think she was on the pathway, but obviously she died quite young. And it was from that young age that I realised that I was a good carer and I was able to engage older people really well, in fact. And every job I took, I was always drawn to the older person. So long story short, I did remortgage my home, and I think it was 2017, and I got a mortgage on an old GP surgery. And I opened a day centre for people living with dementia. And that was because I was chasing a feeling. When I was about 17, I was a domestic on a ward called Cherry Tree. Do you remember Cherry Tree?
Yeah, I do.
In
Yeah.
Aintree.
Yeah.
I was the cleaner, and it was a dementia day centre. I
Yeah,
never got
that's
no
right.
cleaning done because I was doing everyone's hair, everyone's nails. But that was the best feeling and the best job I ever had right through my career. So I was chasing that feeling. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to open my own. And I'd done a lot of work around fear, working through, you know, I'm going to have to leave my NHS pension. And I just thought, in for a penny, in for a pound. And it worked really well. So well that the local authority gave me another building on an asset transfer to replicate the model because of the
brilliant.
demand. So now I've got two.
Wow.
I've got one in Huyton and one in Kirby.
Oh, where's the one in Huyton?
Fairclough Road, off Liverpool Road. It
Oh,
used
I
to
know,
be,
yeah.
Yeah, used to be the Fairclough Centre.
Yeah.
That's Me to You number 2.
Oh, smashing.
Yeah.
And what's the ethos of Me to You?
So our strapline is making every moment count. But my intention was to keep people living with dementia in their own homes for as long as possible. Me being a mental health nurse, our tolerance is quite different. So the people who come to the Me to You centre predominantly are not really safe to stay at home alone. They're quite advanced in their journey, to be honest. So, you know, in the day centre, we do have staff who are trained and experienced in working with challenging behaviours at times, with the understanding that it's fear. You know, we've got a real good understanding of why people live with dementia are, you know, combative at times. So, you know, our passion, our mentality is if the families are willing to work in keeping the person living with dementia at home, we're willing to support them at any cost. So we've had people in on a 2-to-1, on a 1-to-1. And we also have people who are just, you know, just living life like you and I as well. You know, we put the penny on and volunteer and do whatever, but we have got a really high tolerance because we do feel that people thrive better in their own home. And if that means them coming to spend a few hours with us, so the wife, the husband, the daughter can go to work or have a blow, you know, then so be it.
Brilliant.
What do you do for the people that come into the home to do activities, or do you let them just be and be on their own and do what they want to do? Or
so it's a bit of both, really, to be honest, Fran.
Yeah.
It's a very person-centred approach.
Yeah.
So we do like pen profiles as well as care plans. And we take a look at the person living with dementia, the likes, the dislikes, the history, things that's familiar to them. But what we've realised and what we've noticed is sometimes the wife might say, you know, he likes to be on his own.
Yeah.
But when they come with us, they don't.
Yeah.
They're up dancing and having a ball. And I daresn't tell the wife, say, you know, he's having a ball with us because he goes home and wants to be on his own. But
brilliant.
although we are very person-centred,
Yeah.
we do also, test the person and try them in different social settings, different environments. So we're in the process of building a dementia village on the grounds.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I've seen those, yeah.
It's cool. We've got like a record shop.
Yeah.
We've got a pub, a crafts cafe.
Yeah.
Got an allotment.
Tom's eyes lit up there.
I've
We've got a pub.
No ale.
I'll go.
You can put a bet on in the ale house.
Yeah, the betting shop next to the pub.
So we've got a nice green to play bowls. We're just setting up a sensory garden, an allotment. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Is that in Heighton or is that
in Heighton? In Kirby, we've got a sensory garden.
Oh, lovely.
But we're part of the allotment in West Vale. We pay to their CIC to use their allotment.
Yeah.
Because we've worked with the Netherlands and the research suggests people living with dementia, when they're out in the fresh air, hands in the soil, growing their own crops. We like
just
we grow
something
apple
happen.
trees. Yeah, we're baking cakes and it's just nice. We're all involved. Yeah, and it's real and it's fresh air and it's just nice. Yeah,
it's like you're saying, isn't it, Leon? It's a behaviour.
Yeah.
And you're changing people's behaviours, aren't you?
By providing an environment where they can do more or feel comfortable as well.
And they obviously feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of my emphasis is on the staff because I think person-centred care starts with the person delivering the care.
Yeah.
So some of the staff are yoga trained. We do mindfulness. Every morning I offer a free, at 6:30 a.m, I offer a free meditation and yoga and mindful session. So I do encourage the staff to jump on, as well as carers and families, starting our day before the mind gets in the way. And there's a big emphasis on filling your own cup before you try and save others. I save a lot of people, I'm in service to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's really important that I fill my own cup and
definitely
practice, do my own practice and practice what I preach. I can't sit here, saying to people, meditate, deliver person-centred care if I'm not taking accountability and responsibility for me. So there's a lot to it.
I think as a nurse you tend to dole out the information, don't you? In a certain settings, and it's what you say is like, we will do this, and then you just sort of take it over, don't you? Whereas from what you're saying, it'd be lovely to put that out to other people to keep their cup full rather than get so stressed. Because that's what happens, isn't it? You get stressed, you get angry, you get upset. And whereas if you're working in an environment, it will pass on to you, the people you're looking after, won't it?
It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
If we need to leave our problems at the door.
Yeah.
Because, some of our clients can't communicate anymore, but they can still feel.
Yeah.
And they know if you've got a cob on.
Yeah.
Work it out before you come in or go home.
Put your nurse's head on when you come in the door.
Cob-on is upset for our American listeners.
Right, okay. But there's a lot of emphasis on the staff feeling valued and seen. And I think that has a real good knock-on effect because the job can sometimes be,
difficult,
heavy. But going back to the nurse in me, I'm 20 years sober. I've done the 12 steps, and part of that was learning how to live a right life.
Yeah.
And a big emphasis is walking the walk, not just talking the talk. So as a leader in the organisation, I have to be showing up, as someone who practices these.
What you preach.
Yeah, of course, because, we're in a society now where people are watching and they are going to call you out and they are going to question. So I do try and do the right thing. I don't get it right all the time. I'm not perfect.
None of us do.
But I try my best.
So how many patients do you have? How many staff do you have to your patient?
We call them clients.
Clients.
Posh. The ratio is 1 to 3. And it's an average 20 in each centre.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? So you're able to do what you're actually trying to do, what you've planned out, aren't you?
Well, the thing is as well, Fran, it's like a tangled web we weave. So we go into schools and we talk about healthy brains. We have choirs with primary school
brilliant.
children, watching that intergenerational interaction.
Yeah.
But the sixth formers and stuff, we offer them lived experience. So the ones who are wanting to go into health and social or social work, mental health, they'll come in and they'll buddy up with a person living with dementia. 1, it's extra hands on deck.
Yeah.
2, it's one-to-one connection, social interaction. 3, we're breaking down stigma.
Yeah.
And 4, these students are getting first choice in placement.
Yeah.
Because the references and their experience and the personal statement reflect hands-on. For kids, it's a real opportunity, but it's also brilliant for us. And we're teaching them, it's the prevention rather than cure. So we're teaching them about yoga, meditation, healthy brains, preventative, and they're also looking at the consequences of, sometimes when people live with dementia, I've been drinkers, I've been in addiction, Korsakoffs or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the consequence. So they're looking at it firsthand, and it's giving them lived experience.
It's nice to know that your kids are wanting to do it.
They're brilliant.
Isn't it?
They're really, really good, especially the primary school. They'll come in and we'll just sing You Are My Sunshine and, there's no filter.
Yeah.
So the person with dementia's got no filter. I mean, one time, I'll tell you the funny story. The kid come in and she used to always run for Joan. She loved Joan because Joan had no filter.
Yeah.
Joan would sit her on her knee and the teacher would be there. I hope the teacher's not listening. And she'd say, see Fatso over there. Honestly, get your apple and throw it out. Well, the kids would think she was hysterical and we'd have to we'd be trying to tone it down, but the kids would be laughing, she'd be laughing. We'd all end up laughing.
They just take it, yeah. I seen a programme on that a while ago where they put children, there was a nursery on the top and a home for the elderly, and the kids used to all go in and see them. It was on the telly, it was a series, and the kids would go in every week to see them, and they just all changed.
It's magic.
All the older people changed, they got excited, they were
remember
made
that.
up.
I remember it,
Wow. So it is about stimulation,
well, it's
isn't
the
it?
nurturing, especially the guys. When the guys see the little kids running in, their eyes light up. You can literally see the heart bursting. We do use the doll therapy, but real life, it's magic to watch. It's so gorgeous. Yeah, it's lovely.
Because that show that you're talking about, it really had a big impact, didn't it, on their attitude and energy. The energy levels in the room seem to go up. Is that the same?
Yeah. It's just positive. It's just a win-win. I mean, obviously, you get the little slip word, they'll get the swear word, but it's not really nice calling someone fatso. But in the end, everyone was laughing. The teacher found it funny, and it's that joy. We know it's harmless, you know. But the interaction's so beautiful to watch.
I know there's a lot around meditation research for so many reasons why it's good for your brain, and thinking about your problem adaptation therapy, which was reflecting on the day before, and some other aspects to neuroscience about reflecting on the day before and having a calm mind. What made you have that as like a pillar of what you're doing around meditation and mindfulness? Where did that come from for you?
Well, it was basically just experiencing it myself. I'd done my yoga teacher training course about 4 or 5 years ago. And, just the power of connecting to my own breath in stillness to clear the mind. It was just like, wow, why didn't I know about this? Why didn't anyone ever say to me, just pause and breathe? And just to feel the stillness in the pause was like, wow. Then obviously it grew. I brought in the movement, the mantra, and now I'm Kundalini practitioner, a recovery coach. So all these tools, the mental health nurse and lived experience, it's like a little web that it's all transferable skills, and I try and entwine it, you know. Something so basic as letting go of fear. You know, we hold on to fear, and it creates lots of physical ailments, you know. And when we connect the biopsychosocial, when we connect the mind, body, and we understand the effects that our own mind can have on our physical health, you know, it's just a no-brainer to sort of take some control over how we think and feel.
I'm as you're saying that, I'm thinking about you, Tom, and you, Fran, and some of the people from the group. And what I was amazed at in the first couple of months is like there wasn't much fear from the people who've been diagnosed, and it was all very positive and looking to the future. And I didn't sense hardly any fear, which I was confused about, because coming into it not knowing anything, I was thinking, people must be fearful about this or fearful about the future. So I can totally relate to what you're saying, like the impact of getting rid of fear, how it could be for someone, especially early in the diagnosis, maybe. Would you agree with that, Tom?
Yeah, but I'd like to try meditation, because I've never thought of that, doing it myself.
Okay.
Just might be a good thing to do. Yeah.
Well, it seems like we'll be visiting at some point.
Well, I'd love to. I'd love to be the one. And you know what, Tom, as well, I think people forget about the loved ones. So like your wife, you know, lots of times families have come in, you know, they've sort of handed the loved one over to me or to staff, and then they've gone into this fight or flight, this panic.
Yeah.
And I've gone into our little side room and I've gone, right, come on, hold my hands, let's breathe, you know, and then I'll give them the link to the 6:30 a.m. class that's free online in the comfort of their own home. So there's a lot of emphasis on the person living with dementia, but there's a rippling effect, and we always try and look at the families, the carers, the staff, you know, just looking at the bigger picture, Tom, rather than just the person living with dementia, you know, trying to look at it holistically. Yeah.
Well, I always say to Marin, she should make more time for herself.
Yeah.
Instead of looking after me all the time.
Yeah. And again, it's that community, it's that connection, and knowing that these services, the Me to You Centre, is not just for the person living with dementia. It's for anyone connected to that person.
Yeah,
That's brilliant. That, because that's part of a lot of things that we worry about, isn't it? About your partner and the carer themselves. They seem to be sometimes a little bit just
forgotten about,
and especially my thing is teenage children who are looking after someone in that environment. And I always think, I wish people would be more aware of all that. So I think with what you're saying, what you actually do, and I'm sure there's other people do stuff like that as well somewhere along the way. But I just wanted to go back to another thing you said about behaviour, about, remember you brought it up last week, the other week, the lady who we'd done the finger thing with and all
the
that.
gymnastics lady,
Tell
Nicole
about when she took the man, was it
there
play
was
the piano?
a guy who was pretty much immobile, and it was Nicola from Love to Move. I don't know if you've ever engaged with that programme, ran by British Gymnastics. We'll have to intro you, because she can come and do some sessions at the centre for sure, because she's funded to go around and visit all sorts of organisations, and they also train support workers and carers as well. On it's basically gymnastics for people with dementia, and they also have like a young onset one. But there was a particular gentleman who was almost immobile, and then she started to work with him on certain movements and certain gymnastic type activities, and then his partner had said that, after working with you and doing some of these things, he's actually gone to the driving range and is now swinging a golf club. It's like, and really enjoying it though, and was really happy, because he used to obviously play golf, and he was going there with his son and having a great time, a bit like what you're saying, some shared experiences playing golf. But before she had got involved and sort of it was all based on some research of a Japanese academic about neural pathways and movement and stuff. So it's all grounded in a lot of deep science now run by the British Gymnastics Foundation, which is the charity arm. And, you know, who knows about all of that stuff?
Exactly.
If someone's there and they've got someone with dementia and they're always immobile, and it's almost like, okay, that's it, they're immobile.
No.
As opposed to thinking that there's so much more that could be done for someone.
It's a bit like muscle memory. And something comes to mind. There was a lady who couldn't communicate verbally anymore, but we put this song on once and she knew every word, and we were all looking at each other wow, you know, and it was just ingrained somewhere in her brain. And it's the same.
It lights up a certain part of the brain.
It's like a trigger.
Yeah, we had Dean on from Playlist for Life. I don't know if you use that in the centre. But yeah, we'll have to intro to him as well.
Yes, yeah.
Honestly, he's brilliant.
He was great, and his thesis or his ideas were all around the research saying that actually music, if you had a personalised playlist for someone and that person was agitated, or if you could put that playlist on at the right time, it would probably have a better impact than pain medication or behaviour modification medication would. Because it's going to light up their brain and calm them down. And especially if it was like a personalised playlist to them that was calming music that they loved, it's probably going to have a better impact than taking a pill in that moment. So
without a doubt, it's social prescribing, isn't it?
He's a mental health nurse as well.
Yeah.
It's social prescribing, Fran. You know, it's the way forward. You know, 9 times out of 10, if we get to the root cause of why someone is agitated, you know, they're scared. You know, and I know it's really difficult to manage at times, but distraction like music, you know, or a pet, you know, we've got a little dog in the centre that we use, Waffle. It's honestly,
Our dog got my granddaughters they'll have to meet. He's called Pancake.
oh, there you go. Yeah. But I mean, I've been chinned a few times, and you know, you show Waffle, and it's all big love hearts in their eyes and stuff. Yeah.
What a lovely, cute little name.
But it's social prescribing. It's
and what is that for the people who don't know what that is?
Okay, so social prescribing. I'm not really a fan of the medical model, to be honest. Even though I'm a nurse, I do largely gear towards dance, music, yoga. We have sound journeys, you know, the frequency of sound, the dementia village. You know, although we're a day centre, we like to sort of feel that it's our home. We like to create a real homely environment where people feel safe and loved and seen. And that might just be asking Fran if she was with us to peel the spuds. You know, dementia care is not rocket science, and we get lost. People just want to feel part of a family, you know, and that's what we try and create, you know, get the kettle on, will you? And, you know, and you've heard people saying, you know, I got cancer, and they speak to me like, you know, different. Just treat me like I'm normal. People with dementia are normal. They just want to feel included and part of our little fambo. And that's the way we do it. So
social prescribing then is more looking at the person, and instead of thinking about medication, it's thinking about what does that person need in the moment, or who is that person, and
what does it not need?
Yeah.
You know, does the gentleman need to be removed from a high stimulating environment? You know, does he need a cup of tea? You know, does she need to go out and have a ciggy? I mean, I know that doesn't sound ideal, but you know, what does that specific person need in that moment to change the energy? You know, from fear or tears or sadness. You know, sometimes you want to hold that sadness because they're allowed to cry as well. You know, it's keeping it real. You know, and again, it's having that skill and that experience and them tools to really tune in to that person as a person.
It sounds really fascinating. And have you had any academics or researchers or Mersey Care or anyone else like that come and, you know, want to learn more about
I'm part of the Living Lab, NIHR, so I work with Dr. Clarissa Giebel in Liverpool Uni. I'm part of the team, and we look at inequalities in dementia. You know, some of their researchers will buddy up, and, you know, obviously I'm not academic, I'm more hands-on. But when we team up, you know, I'm working with a researcher called Megan at the moment. You know, she brings her academic hat to us and we do the doings. You know, we're very practical. You know, we've got the grassroots, we've got the evidence, you know, for them to use firsthand. So it's about joining them dots. So I'm a big part of that team. You know, I'm part of the NIHR and the Living Labs and the inequalities in dementia. I think it's really important to have evidence-based. You know, it's okay me saying, oh, Jimmy's mum loved it, she had a great day, we'll prove it. You know, don't tell me, show me, and what do the statistics look like? Yeah. So, you know, although I'm not academic, I know what side my bread's buttered, and I know I need to prove that we're delivering a good service. So I have linked in with them, and it's proven to be really good.
That's brilliant. And is there other centres that you're aware of or around the world, or other people that you would say are following a similar model?
That I don't know, because this has all come from, you know, I've give you a little bit of insight into my life. You know, I am in recovery, and part of the 12 steps is being in service. You know, so it's really important to me to serve others. So a lot of what I do has come from, you know, obviously I told you about me nan. It's come from lived experience, passion, my heart. You know, I've ended up a businesswoman by default when really I've gone in this to serve the community. So I don't really know if there's others who replicate the model, because it is very personal to me. Yeah. But I have worked alongside the Netherlands in regards to the Dementia Village, and I do really, I've got a lot of respect for their
they're really forward thinking, aren't they? A lot of these areas.
Yeah, very much so.
So I do sort of value and respect their models and their approach. I do rob a little bit of their
good
ideas.
Slip it in.
We have to, don't we?
All the best artists steal.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully, you know, I am open-minded. You know, I am keen to learn from others. I am keen to share.
Right.
So, you know, if there's anything out there that I can learn from, you know, I'm all there. And if anyone wants to pick my brains.
I think it's fascinating, because a lot of the economy is geared in a lot of ways, if you think about it, towards medication.
Oh, it certainly is.
Because there's money in it.
Of course.
Whereas how much money is there in, you know, yoga?
Exactly.
Or, you know, meditation.
Exactly.
There's not much money in someone learning how to meditate and that fixing a lot of their problems, is there? Because there isn't.
No, you're right. Because, you know, the pharmaceuticals, there's a lot of money ploughed. And, you know, us scabby heads who are telling people how to breathe properly because it feels amazing, we just get left. You know, but I'm living proof. I can't speak for anyone else, but yoga, meditation, mindfulness, you know, it's changed my life.
Yeah. No, same here. And I think I was reading an article about, because Reddit, I don't know if you guys have heard of Reddit, it's like a big social media platform, but there's a lot of trust in that community because of the way that it works. People posting, you sort of build up karma. And so there's communities on there for dementia, there's communities on there for all sorts of things, gaming, you know, hobbies, golf, whatever. But a lot of the artificial intelligence AI companies are using it to train their models because there's a lot of insight there that's lost. And it was a Twitter post, an X post, that was talking about in terms of clinical trials, there isn't much money to go and study what you're doing because there's no outcome necessarily that a drug company would want. So how many clinical trials are being ran on, social prescribing interventions, as you would call it? And they were saying on Reddit, there's a lot of people that are learning new concepts and new ways to do things that maybe don't cost a lot of money, but people get a lot of value from. And whether you can start to look at Reddit as like running big trials on things that may work for certain people that isn't to do with medication and stuff. Because, I think the more and more I learn, the therapeutic intervention and the type of things that you're talking about, the problem adaptation therapy that you did, it seems to me that all of those things put together, and then diet and exercise and all those other things, is going to be a much better approach than waiting for some pill one day that you think will solve everything.
I think its approach is good, and I do agree with you with that. But I think in some certain terms with dementia, or what type of dementia you have, drugs have got to be within
it's
that.
part of the mix.
Yeah, it's part of the mix. But I think everything else that goes alongside it, what you're doing, is so beneficial. And I think maybe they do need to look at, do we need to start doing that at a certain time, or do we need to start these drugs on such and such a time? But I know for certain aspects of dementia and Alzheimer's and all the other types, the Lewy bodies, all those types, that we do need them drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For certain
And we've got
symptoms.
to have them.
Yeah.
And that's great. But to have that working alongside it would just be
Well, that's the
amazing.
issue, isn't it? Because it was a BBC article the other day about 3 in 5 people feel like the moment they're diagnosed and given a certain drug, that's the last they'll hear from the health service in certain areas for years. So what's going to step into that gap of supporting you once they have given you a certain tablet or whatever it is? And then, okay, see you when shit hits the fan.
That's what's like over by us. I got diagnosed, then I got discharged from a memory clinic, and that was it then. There's your tablets, you're safe on them. Just get on with it.
I've been trying to work with Mersey Care to develop a post-diagnostic support course, and use some of my ideas.
Yeah.
But, going back to carers and my staff, if we invest in carers and staff as well, their reaction to someone living with dementia could minimise a whole lot of anxiety.
Definitely, yeah. They're getting better looked after,
honestly,
basically.
Yeah, so it's about opening our minds. It's about looking at, tapping into carers, care staff. I've been developing courses for care staff to do it like my staff. So I've been looking for some funding with a guy who's nursed his mum. He's a nurse consultant. We've been looking for some funding to develop a course to be able to train carers outside of the Meter Youth Centre to look at things in a more holistic, more of a broader.
When you say carers, do you mean loved ones that are supporting someone living with dementia?
And care staff.
And care and actual staff in different places, Yeah.
Because, we said before, person-centred care starts with the person delivering the care. They need to feel...
They need to know.
Calm, relaxed, valued, seen, and that comes, from me as well. If I'm running an organisation, my staff need to feel supported and valued and seen, and they're going to show up differently. Us, as a society, we need to be looking, it should be a bird's eye view. When someone's diagnosed with dementia, there's so much fear and stigma and uncertainty, and it's about rising above that and saying, right, how can we all, bring a bit of joy, a bit of balance, a bit of fun, a bit of harmony, a bit of grounding, a bit of meditation, a bit of relaxation. It's just changing the dynamics, changing the mindset and the attitude, really, of society.
Yeah.
It's not the end, it's the beginning of something new.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I still work, and the people I work for are brilliant. They don't treat me any different than anybody else, really.
Good.
They just let me
But
go
you're
on with
not,
it.
are you?
No, you're still the same person.
Yeah,
You just got
of
an illness,
course.
that's all.
Yeah,
But they are really good at me. And I enjoy going to work.
love that.
No.
Yeah.
I love going to work. I love walking home. I love walking my dog. I just feel happy with myself, that's all.
And that's the way in the centre we've got like young people who are on our books, who are carers, who've got diagnoses of ADHD, Asperger's. They're brilliant with people living with dementia, you know, but we get so hung up on a diagnosis.
Yeah.
The person becomes the diagnosis and they've just lost every
identity.
sense of, you know, who they actually are. So...
I know, because you do see people when someone will say, I've got dementia, and the first thing they do is go, oh, you're all right.
Well, they don't speak to you, do they?
Yeah.
You speak to somebody with you.
Yeah, they just, in the older person, they tend to just shout at them as though they're deaf or they're, you know. And that's what I was going to ask you about, you know, there's so many younger now, young onset of dementia, which Cheryl and Frida and everyone does in the Sedgemoor group with the young onset dementia. Have you found more now coming into you, or are you getting the feeling that even though people are much older with it, there's a lot more younger people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've found is the younger person that I've come across, the deterioration does seem to be a bit more rapid in the younger onset. They're just the people who I've come across. And this is why I'm tapping into the record shop. You know, we in Meet You and Kirby, we got Tommy Dunning before we opened it and designed it.
Yeah.
He come in and give us a few tips, and we used the Sterling model to design. You know, he said keep the floor with no gaps, and you know, he give us some really, and we had a laugh. He's dead funny.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is, you know, the younger person, you know, they don't go to the post office.
Yeah, because they never went to a post office.
You know, they do want to be exposed to yoga and meditation and breath work, you know. So it's really great that we're training and upskilling for the next generation of dementia service users, clients, whatever we call them, you know, because they don't want to be listening to Patsy Cline. Or some do.
Oh, I love Patsy Cline.
Yeah, I do.
But I know what you mean.
We've got to upskill, and we've got to, you know,
definitely.
it's not about...
You've got to move with the disease.
With the times.
And the way things are going, haven't you?
Yeah. I love everything you're doing. I think we'll definitely try and arrange to come and all have a visit.
I'd love to.
And do some filming, and so you can spread your message more, and you can maybe chat to some of the people, family members and people
Staff
who
and stuff.
visit. Yeah, it'd be great.
Be lovely. I'd love to see you, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely.
Do you, Marion?
Yeah.
I'd love to get involved with this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Marion's just
I'll
saying
give
she'd
you the link, Marion.
Marion's just saying she'd
For
like to get
6:30.
involved with Tom.
Yeah, you'll
Tom's
be doing
wife.
Nothing wrong with it.
On that note, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back for a bit of Reminiscence Corner.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
No worries.
Thank you.
We hope you're enjoying listening to our podcasts.
If you'd like to come on the show,
You can get in touch with us
if you're a scientist or a health expert,
if you're living with dementia or you're supporting anyone with dementia.
then drop us a line.
You can email us on hello@fightingdementiapod.com.
So we're going to do our Reminiscence Corner section.
Oh, lovely.
If you remember
Yeah.
from last time.
No.
Well, it's fine. When you're rewatching
Yes,
it, you'll
I do.
remember.
I will remember.
So Rosie, we like to watch a clip from a previous episode and then just have a chat about it, really. So this is Dr. Ivan Koichev, who's a neuropsychologist and clinician who's quite well respected in the dementia field. And we had him on, and I've been calling him Dr. Ivan for the last 6 episodes, and I've been told off the other day by one of his colleagues. It's Ivan. So this is Dr. Ivan Koichev, and we'll have a little watch of the clip.
Skill, something that has a life, real life, sort of, if you like, sort of function that benefits us much more compared to learning how to do Sudokus. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because what you're trying to do here is keep the brain active. The brain was sort of evolved the way it did over sort of millennia, is because it helped us sort of work out patterns and sort of interact with the environment and so on. It wasn't quite made for Sudokus and connecting dots and so on. You know, it's in there. You know,
I'm not sure everyone would agree with you on that.
Oh well, you know. But if you can learn it, I guess my point is, if you can learn a new instrument or if you can learn a new language, that's probably going to do your brain.
It's more complex.
More good. Yeah, exactly. It's more what we would call ecologically valid, right? It's closer to what the brain is meant to be doing in the first place.
That makes a lot of sense.
To things that we've devised and think they're cool and they're nice, which they are. But yeah, I think your brain benefits more from things that are a bit more holistic.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
Even got the holistic word in there for you, Rosie. So yeah, what do we think of that in terms of learning new skills or what he was talking about?
Well, I think in some stages you can't actually learn new skills because you forget them too quick. It depends what it is that you're doing. I think we'd say like it's difficult to read now. It's difficult to do crosswords. And as he just said, it's easier to learn a language for your brain than to do a crosswords or a Sudoku.
It's better for your brain, yeah.
Yeah. So you have to sort of find yourself what works for you. And I think a lot of things work for me, some things don't now. But then if I don't have that, I'll go on to see if I can do something else and learn something else. Like you, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah. I just like being out and about.
Yeah.
You know, walking, working, anything really, playing golf. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm doing something with my hands or something like that, yeah. I don't have to think much.
But you communicate as well with all your people in the pub.
Oh,
don't you?
Yeah.
And that's a form of you just keeping your brain working, but differently.
Absolutely, yeah. And with you visiting your friends regularly and your family, you sent me a photo of your family dinner the other night, and there's like 10 of you around the table.
We always do something. We always make sure we don't sort of, Frank and I sit back and think, oh, well, I'll just stay here tonight and I'll do this. And we go, no.
It's forcing yourself, isn't it, to get out there and do something.
Yeah. And that all comes back from that research I done with that bloke, because I often think when I go to do something and I go, oh, I couldn't be bothered, not going to do that. And I think, no, because that won't do my brain any good. So I go off then and try and, I go off and do what I should have done. Sometimes I don't on the odd occasion. You don't do everything, but it tends to stick in the back of my mind. Well, if you want your brain to work properly, go and do something.
So the idea behind the 6:30 a.m. practice, repetition is key. You know, 6:30, you're up, you're on the mat.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But you've already won your day.
Yeah.
Because you've got up at 6:30 and you've achieved something before the mind.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that excuse, that doubt, you know, within half an hour, you've won your day as far as I'm concerned. You know, you've smashed it.
I agree with you on that, because if I do it, I think, what?
Yeah, that's
and
your
then
day
it
set.
steers me on then to do something else rather than just lying.
I think you're
there.
like that with work, aren't you? Because you work in the morning.
Yeah.
I get up at 7:15 every morning.
Yeah.
Walk to work at 8:30. Finish work at 12, then walk home and go home, get the dog and walk the dog for an hour.
Achieved something.
You know what I mean?
He's won it, hasn't he? The rest is a bonus.
Well, then, I think the rest of the day is my own. I can sit and watch my fish all day. I've got a pond in the garden.
Yeah.
Just sit and watch them and be
In
quiet.
Talking about conversation, that's in that episode, Ivan talks quite a lot about how conversation is actually really a difficult thing for the brain. And so that the more that you're conversing, and he kept coming back to, you know, your brain's developed over thousands, tens of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And it was developed to converse.
Yeah.
So, and that's why social isolation and loneliness is a big risk factor for dementia.
Yes.
And we keep coming back to the community aspect, don't we? And what you've built there is absolutely a community and a holistic way to look at everyone around the person. So yeah, I think continuing your skills of conversation, like you're saying, getting out there. No, I will go out to this dinner. No, I will go and do this. I will come and do a podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think you two are getting better at doing this, which is learning. No, I do.
We're getting there.
But if you look back to the earlier episodes, like the confidence you have, the way that you ask questions, the way that you contribute, has got better and better each time. And so I think that's learning a new skill.
Well, it is, yeah.
In a new
Like we
environment.
said before, we've never done this till we had dementia.
Yeah.
Just be too nervous.
Well, it's making you think, like, oh, that was interesting. I'll go back to that. What
Yeah.
she just said then, and you're thinking, you're preempting, and it's all brilliant for the brain, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Awesome. So talking about new skills and things like that, I think we're going after this. We'll have a little drink, and maybe we can keep talking about that and reflect on some of the things that we spoke about in this episode, and we can bring that into next week's.
I'm going to see what won the 3:30.
Do you have a bet?
No, we're kidding.
Okay. I don't know if gambling is a new skill to develop that you should take
I'm
up.
only kidding.
Oh, awesome. Well, Rosie, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
It's been lovely.
We will
Thank you.
definitely organise at some point in the next month or two coming to
Yeah.
visit the centre all together. And
I'd love to come.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful and honoured. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
And the 6:30 meditation, did you say that was online?
It's free. It's an online Zoom. So it's me, tatty head, pyjamas on. You know, you just show up, and I'm just guiding you through a nice grounding. 30 minutes. Start your day before the mind gets in the way. Don't have to be bendy-wendy. It's nice and grounding practice.
Sounds great. Maybe we can all join.
Bendy.
People worry and think yoga is.
Yeah, exactly. You have to
No.
be. You have to
I
be
know
this
what you mean.
flexible, whatever.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
That's so funny.
There you go. We'll be doing yoga.
Got to have a sense of humour, haven't you, to do what you do?
Keeps you going, doesn't
Yeah.
it, Fran?
Yeah,
Oh.
it does.
Absolute pleasure, and thanks,
Thank you.
thanks,
Oh,
Fran.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Tom. Been great.